Krystal Stanich, and thank you for joining me for this week's First Chapter Friday. Today I will be reading from Nikki McCormack's The Girl and the Clockwork Cat. Hope you enjoy. Chapter 1. The windowsill ground into Mako's ribs. Grabbing hold with both hands, she pushed her toes against Chafe's palms and lifted high enough to place the frame in that squishy area between her ribs and pelvis. Awkward. Painful. Discomfort. Fear of discovery. And the potential payoff of success kept her moving. She rolled onto her right side. A soft whimper escaped as the narrow sill pressed deeper into her flesh. The sound was lost amidst the ticking of so many clocks within the shop. Bracing her hands against the top and bottom edges, she began to draw her knees up so she could squeeze her legs through and land on her feet inside the shop. Even with her slender build, it was going to be a tight fit. One of many holes in her pants caught on something. She tugged a few times, moved the leg out and back in a little. No luck. The pain of her position was creating a fog around her thoughts. "Chafe," she hissed. "Trouble, Pigeon?" She could hear laughter in his voice. "It's not funny." "It is a bit." There was tugging on her pants that shifted her weight and brought a fresh spike of pain to her side. "Blood and ashes," he cursed under his breath. "I can't get it from here." She gritted her teeth. Pain translated to a burst of anger, and she jerked the leg. The sound of tearing fabric followed by freedom. She curled up in the window, maneuvering her legs and feet through, then twisted her body around to catch herself with a death grip on the sill. Her toes bumped the door. She braced for the scream of the alarm. Nothing. "You all right?" A quick glance down to determine her proximity to the device. Close, but it appeared undisturbed. "Splendid," she said, which in this context was code for proceeding as planned. "Brilliant. You're a cracking burglar for a bird." "Better than any of your boys," she boasted and let go, dropping to the floor. The landing was hard enough to draw a few bright, sassy notes from a music box on the display table nearest the side entry. It was a fanciful and somewhat scandalous piece, with a clock in the base and a woman on top wearing only a corset and underskirts, a tool belt hanging askew at her waist, and a parasol in one hand. Disdained pirate regalia made palatable for the gentry in art. The locked cabinet next to that held an elaborate brass bracer with an embedded clock. Several mechanized articulated arms folded in against it, ending in various items, including a pen, a pair of tweezers, and a magnifying glass. A black and gold plaque beneath it declared, "The Proper Professor's Companion from Clockwork Enterprises." There were many such innovative items in locked cabinets around the shop. Items that were worth enough to pay off her mother's debt. But no fence would touch those pieces. They were much too easy to trace. Therefore, risky and hard to sell. Still, a satchel full of pocket watches and other trinkets would let her stash a good sum toward her goal. Further in, on the opposite side of the shop, was the long flat case that held the less exclusive selection of items they were targeting. First, secure the goods. That way, if she set off the unfamiliar alarm system, they could make a run for it before literati officers arrived and still have a good payout. She padded over and made quick work of the lock on the case, with the pick set she kept stirred in one tattered shoe. She swept the entire cabinet, moving everything into the satchel one item at a time to avoid damaging the goods. Minutes clicked by on the numerous clocks, ticking their way into her nerves. By the time she had the satchel loaded, her fingers twitched in time with every agonizing tick-tock. No more clock shops. No more clock shops. Ever. She started back toward the door, pausing for another longing glance at the professor's companion. Such a device had to be worth a tidy sum. She eyed the cabinet lock. Maybe. A rap on the side door caught her attention. And if you would like to know what happens next, you can check out this title on the Hoopla app. Please join me here next Friday as I read from Terry Pratchett. Please join me here next week as I read from Terry Pratchett's The Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents. Thank you and have a great week.